The Chiefs' plan is starting to come into focus, and we're going to talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, how we all doing, everybody? Roll on in here. Come on in. Let's have a good night. You guys hit that like button. Get this out to more people. Let's freaking go. We're going to talk about the Chiefs draft plans. Imagine that. Like there's a whole lot of other things to talk about. But before we get going, just want to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. So you can go click that link in the description. Use code HMA, all that fun stuff. But we appreciate them, and we appreciate you for being here. Mike, how we doing tonight?
We're doing good. I'm so ready for the draft. Me and Price Carter, we did that live the other day. But we actually entered something called Epic Mock 2026. Ooh. And there's 32 teams being drafted live by 32 different GMs. And Price and ourselves are going to be doing round 2 live tomorrow night. So that's going to be fun. Round 1 went as follows. Jordyn McCoy
already did it?
Round 1. It was tonight. It wasn't live. We couldn't do it live, so we're going to broadcast round 2 tomorrow and round 3. But Jordyn McCoy was the pick at number 9 because of the way the board fell. I absolutely didn't love it. Price Carter and the other guy from Arrowhead Addict I was with, they strong-armed me. They outvoted me 2-1. I honestly would have preferred Kenyon Sadiq.
Price.
But they took Jordyn McCoy at 9. I thought it was a little rich. They wanted to trade up from 29 and get TJ Parker, and I was like, I think you can sit and wait. I think you can wait. Sure enough, he fell to 29, so we took TJ Parker. We got the defensive end. So I think I salvaged it a little bit at the end for him. But so far it's Jordyn McCoy, TJ Parker, and I'm excited to see how rounds 2 and 3 are going to be tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, no on Jordyn McCoy. And I feel like a lot of Chiefs media is a little too horned up about TJ Parker. Like, I don't know why they love him so much.
I mean, I think he's good. He's my number 5 guy, I believe, 4 or 5 off the top of my head. But I mean, honestly, I would have preferred like they were wanting to trade up to like 20 to get him, and I was like, if I'm going to trade up to 20 or 21, I'd almost rather have Peter Woods.
Oh, Peter Woods.
They wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
I was getting outvoted. Arrowhead Addict was outvoting me. It was old Mike versus 2 Arrowhead Addict.
You got your
guys.
Arrowhead ass kicked is what happened.
Yeah, they wasn't going to let me have any say in it. So maybe tomorrow night.
Hey, tomorrow we have to redeem this draft because I don't know about it so far. I mean, it's not bad. It's really not bad, but I don't know about it.
We'll salvage it tomorrow night. Be over here on All Chiefed Up because we're going to be live from probably 6:30 Eastern to about 10:30 Eastern doing rounds 2 and round 3 live.
That's ridiculous. By the time I get here, Mike, you better not have botched the rest of the draft. Okay?
It's not my doing. I'm getting outvoted here.
No, you have to stand up for yourself in the Chiefs, right? Just you can't just sit there and take
Nobody listens to All Chiefed Up, Steve. We're just the redheaded stepchild. We're the new kids on the block. Everybody just steps on us.
We've been around for almost 5 years now.
I know, but they treat us
like we're... They can stick that up their buttholes.
Yeah. They treat us as if we're nobody.
You just have to live with us at this point. You deal with it. And you deal with the fact that we're the best damn draft coverage on Chiefs YouTube. I mean, deal with it. We know what we're talking about, and that's what we're going to talk about today, Mike. Chiefs plans starting to come into focus a little bit. The reason why we say that is, well, look at the top 30 visits. Today, they announced they're bringing in Ruben Bain Jr. Imagine that. And they also had Treydan Stokes, defensive back from Arizona. Those are the 2 newbies on the top 30 list. Mike, Ruben Bain, I'm pretty sure everybody knew that one was coming, right?
Yeah, people were saying all week, like, oh, they looked at Arvell Reese, they looked at David Bailey. How come they're not bringing in Ruben Bain? So I give the explanation of, well, he's probably coming in the next few days. He may have already happened, it just hasn't been released. Or maybe we already kind of know Ruben Bain's a fit, and you don't really need to waste the top 30 on him. But they did announce it today. And look, I don't think the Chiefs are afraid of his arm length. I don't think you should be afraid of his arm length. I'm not afraid of his arm length. I don't care. If you watch him on the football field, if you go back and watch the championship game versus the Indiana, you'll see that he was probably the best player on the field by far. It does not matter how long his arms is. He is very dominant. He's worth a top 5 pick. He's definitely worth a top 10 pick if you don't trade up and he falls to number 9. I think it's a no-brainer. He's the guy that makes the most difference because the Chiefs got to have pass rush.
Absolutely. So I would step outside the box a little bit and consider David Bailey, right, over Ruben Bain if You're not looking for the well-rounded guy. If you just want to go for straight pass rush and you want to get outside your box a little bit and get a guy with some speed, then you're going to go with David Bailey. But I don't think the Chiefs will do that. I don't think they'll come too far off of what they've been doing. And the fact that I feel like Ruben Bain's floor is a lot higher than David Bailey's because he was the best run defender in college, along with pass rush. So, I mean, we know this dude can do a lot of things well, as opposed to David Bailey is just going to be a pass rush specialist, end of story. And more than likely, I bet he ends up on a 3-4 defense. I'd almost bet it.
Yeah.
But I would love to see
an
him
outside linebacker, man.
Absolutely. I'd love to see him on our edge. I would love to see a lot of guys on our I would love to see them stand up Leo on our edge, but they'd never do it. They did it like, what, 6 times ever?
Yeah, they weren't going to do it.
I would like to see a lot of things like that, but it's just not going to happen. You know, I'd like to win $1 million. I would like for everybody to like our channel and subscribe to it. But, you know, things just don't happen like that. Like, things will go the way they go. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that they'll definitely be really looking at Ruben Bain here just to make sure.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
On April 9th, we're about 2 weeks out from the draft. So you're saying right now, you're going to put your foot, you're going to draw your line in the sand right now. You're going to say that if at pick number 9, by some miraculous miracle, Ruben Bain and David Bailey are both on the board, you're taking David Bailey.
No, that's not what I said.
No, I'm asking, which one would you take? I thought you said you would consider Bain or Bailey over Bain. So I was just asking.
If they wanted nothing but pass rush specialist, something outside of the box, some speed. Yeah. But I don't think that they can commit to that. They just can't do it. I mean, they brought in Josh Uche. They wouldn't even get him on the field.
Right.
You know, B.J. Thompson. You had, who's the other kid? Oh, Felix. I mean, they've tried to go outside the box a little bit, and they can't make it work.
Yeah,
so why
Felix
waste more draft capital? Why do that? And I like it's the thing. I'm not saying that David Bailey would be a waste because I think David Bailey is a great player, and I think that he can do some good things in the NFL. But if the Chiefs get him and they continue to do the same things they've been doing, it is going to be a waste of draft capital.
Yeah, well, I would be a little scared. I'd be like at number 9. So if you take Bain, you know you're going to get production from Bain. He's going to play. He's going to play early. He's going to set the edge. He's going to give you a good floor. If you take Bailey, I'm starting to get in that territory of like, I personally am fine with it. I think it'd be fun. I think he could do it. But I'm not so sure Spags lets the guy play any. We may be looking halfway through the season and be like, why is our number 1 pick not even playing?
For sure. And here's the thing. Everybody has heard so much about Ruben Bain and David Bailey. Probably want to throw up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's about to hurl over these two.
I want to throw up a little bit. So we're going to move it on to Treydan Stokes here in just a second. But before we do that, just want to shout out our boy Huckleberry here with the 5-bomb. Says the sweet KC hat you guys sent showed up, and I absolutely love it. Thanks again, my dudes.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, Huckleberry. Glad you're enjoying the hat. This is another hat by the same company. It's our boy, man. Elgin Thrower. He watches the channel all the time. If we get more information on the company that he started, and we get some information on when they're going to be selling these, website, anything like that, we will get all that information to you guys. But they've making some pretty sweet hats, man. And glad you enjoyed it. But Mike, let's talk about Treydan Stokes.
Oh, yeah.
So here's my thing. You said they took Jermod McCoy at number 9. There's a couple of things that'll piss me off in this draft.
Corner at 9, right?
There's not a whole lot, to be honest. I'm pretty open to things, but I'll tell you 2 things that will make me want to break my TV. Number 1, if you draft a corner at pick number 9, I'm kind of probably going to break my TV, or at least think about it, because it's just ridiculous. It's terrible positional value. It just is. There are other guys in this draft that I think will be just as good as Jermod McCoy. 3rd round. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So we could do that later. Don't do that to us. We need some other things. Other things are more pressing than corner. I'm sorry. It just is. The only way I take a defensive back at number 9 is if Caleb Downs falls there and you think that you absolutely have to take him. I say, okay,
Yeah,
Cool.
can I show you how it turned out? Because they just released this graphic. This was it today. So we were at number 9. We couldn't get up. Now look at this draft board. It's kind of a worst case scenario. Bailey went 2. Sonny Styles went 3. That was really early. Love went to the Titans. Bain went to the Cardinals, which really made no sense. They just overdrafted him. And then Downs went number 7 to the Commanders. And then Arvell Reese went to number 8 to the Saints. Now, we had already decided that if Arvell Reese fell to the Chiefs at 9, we still wasn't going to take him. Our guy, once Ruben Bain went off the board, was Caleb Downs. When Caleb Downs went off the board at 7, we already decided Arvell Reese wasn't our guy. We tried to move back, but nobody wanted to come up, so we had to sit and pick. Now, look, it's not sexy at this point, and everybody's a little bit tired of it. But for me, right there, the highest guy on my board was Mekhi Lemon. I would have took Mekhi Lemon.
Mike, there's probably I could count probably 10 dudes after Jermond McCoy that I would take over Jermond McCoy.
Well, I honestly liked Mansour Delane over McCoy. I like Kenyon Sadiq over McCoy right there. Now, I know that's not popular with a lot of Chiefs.
I would rather have Francis Minoa. I would rather have Kenyon Sadiq. I would rather have Mekhi Lemon.
Right.
Like I can name a lot of guys.
It's not a lot of popular, but if you see right here at the very bottom, you will see Casey Concepcion. Jacob Rodriguez went 19, by the way, which was wild. I'm not saying he's not good, but if he sneaks into the first, it may be like the Patriots Seahawks. I can't see him going at 19. But I also have seen Stranger Things.
Is it a good show?
Yeah. Concepcion and Cooper go in 2021, and then Freeling went 23, Lobu went at 24, Proctor at 25. So we had a run on linemen, and then Blake Miller goes 26, and then they took Lawrence, and then they Honachor at 28. So with the way this board shaped up, if the Chiefs, we had to get TJ Parker here. I think we got a really good edge there, and we can always double up at 40 if, for example, you can't get a good lineman. And to be honest, all the offensive tackles kind of ran already, so I think that's out the window.
Yeah, well, the second thing that would make me want to break my TV, Mike, is if they draft Keldrick Falk at 9.
Yeah, not a huge Keldrick Falk.
I don't see a world where that happens, but there are a lot of people that are saying that, and that's weird. Spencer Fano would probably piss me off a little bit, too.
Well, Fano, I think Fano's a guard. I'm sorry. Yeah. He is a guard. And even Caleb Lomu, I think. Who was it that was doing the whole Caleb Lomu thing yesterday? It come out and he was all over everything. Was it ESPN that did Caleb Lomu yesterday? Maybe Daniel Jeremiah. I don't remember who it was. But anyways, the whole point is I listened to what he was saying about Caleb Lomu, and I'm pretty sure it's who it was. Let me make sure. I don't want to say something wrong. It's right here. Let me see. Here it is. Daniel Jeremiah. No, it was Spencer Fano. So at number 9, he said the Chiefs are going to take Spencer Fano. If you close your eyes and just listen to him, and he didn't say the name Spencer Fano, he straight up give you the scouting report on Kingsley Suamataia, and he didn't even last a full season at tackle. But yet, Spencer Fano's a lock at number 9 for the Chiefs. It's a no-brainer. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
Mike, I was trying to reel you back in here, baby. We got to talk about Treydan Stokes real quick, and then we'll get out to more of this draft stuff.
Yeah, let's do Treydan Stokes.
We brought in. Is it Treydon, or Treydon?
It's D-A-N.
Treydan Stokes. Okay. Well, let's talk about him a little bit, man. Here's the thing. Chiefs brought him in. Treydan Stokes coming off an injury. Yeah, torn ACL, correct?
Yeah, he's had an ACL thing. I guess it's recent.
He kind of proved that he still has some speed with the 4.33 40-yard dash, which kind of got him on everybody's radar. You start looking at the defensive backs in Arizona, Mike. Him and Genesis Smith were both very good. I think Genesis Smith is more of like a coverage guy. Treydan Stokes, to me, is someone that could play free safety in the NFL, but he kind of has the same archetype as L'Jarius Sneed. And I feel like they would try to, if the Chiefs end up with Treydan Stokes, they're going to try to put him into the Chamari Connor role of playing the nickel. And I kind of feel like he could potentially be a Chamari Connor. He's not the greatest in coverage, and he misses a lot of tackles. His tackling is not great. He has a weird form where he doesn't want to wrap up. He just wants to dive at people's feet. But all that being said, I kind of told you the bad stuff first, but I do like Stukes. I think he's very athletic, and I think he could be, like I said, a free safety in the NFL. He could also be a good slot corner. He really could be. But to me, it almost seems like more of the same. Like if the Chiefs go that route, what do you think about him?
Yeah, I give Stukes kind of like, it's not my comp for him at all, but the way you mentioned Chamari Connor, if you put a little bit of like L'Jarius Sneed with him because of his length, I think his height and his weight, he can play outside, he can play in the slot. I think he keeps his eyes in the backfield really well.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to be physical. He's got good ball skills, things like that. He was a team captain. His ACL was actually in 2024, so he missed a few games this year, but he played the rest of the season.
Yep.
The thing about it is like you said, his coverage gets a little wild. He gets caught flat-footed a lot. He gets tricked on play action a lot. If the route, like if he's running a route and he gets caught flat-footed, the guy gets behind him, like he looks lost. Like even with 4.33 recovery speed, he's just kind of lost. I don't think that he looks very coordinated sometimes at the top of route, so he's constantly playing catch-up, it seems, with the receiver. There's just a lot there that I don't love, but there's a lot that he's got a lot of things that you could teach, and maybe he could be like a diamond in the rough. He's my number 8 safety, and again, he played outside, and he's played like a hybrid slot safety. They actually called it an F-cat position at Arizona, so FKAT, I guess, because of the Wildcats. So
his man coverage is not great. I will say that he bites on double moves a lot.
Yeah,
and then I noticed a lot in his tape, he opens his hips a little too quick and lets up leverage to receivers for easy completions. Something that L'Jarius Sneed struggled with, by the way. So
right, that's why I say I see a lot of L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah, very reminiscent. But yeah, I do like him. One other knock I have on the kid, though, it's funny because we're just talking about bad stuff, but I really do think he could be
he's
good.
got a lot of positives.
He's got a lot of positives, and you know what? I'll go ahead and give a couple. He's got high level versatility. You know, he's got had 900 snaps, over 900 snaps at wide corner, and he spent most of his recent season after that injury as the nickel safety hybrid, right? But he's very flexible, and the fact that, you know, he can do a lot of different things, that's something that the Chiefs value. They always have. His ball skills and his production are really good. They actually started to come on a lot in 2025. He had 4 interceptions, 6 pass breakups. It just kind of showed a natural ability to track deep balls and undercut routes and things like that. Very good in the zone, high intelligence in zone defense. He kind of excels at reading layered route concepts. He passes off receivers in the zone very well, and he keeps his eyes on the quarterback all the time, which you mentioned. He's very good at that. Also mentally tough. He's a walk-on that ended up being team captain, you know, and now going to be playing in the NFL. So, you know, he kind of started from the bottom, now he's here kind of thing, right? A walk-on that's getting ready to get drafted to the NFL, you can never scoff at that. A lot of those guys are very mentally tough. Now, let me get back to the other knock I wanted to talk on him real quick. Is he's very... I won't say he is, but he could be detrimental to a team in any kind of run situation. He's very lean. He gets blocked and washed out real easy by even like smaller tight ends. His tackling, which I already mentioned, kind of stinks. His form's not good. Dives at people's feet, misses a lot of tackles. Just stuff like that. So, I mean, it's kind of a pick your poison thing. I think they're projecting him around pick 62, 63. But some teams or not teams or players, I don't know why I said either of that, but some of the analysts and stuff have him in their top 50 on the big board. Which to me is a little rich. Like, I know the athletic ability's there. He can jump through the roof, and the kid's fast as hell. His 10-yard split was crazy. I mean, he's got a lot of intangibles, but I just feel like with what I watched on tape, I would feel more comfortable with him in like the 4th round. I don't know if he'll ever make it there, but if he did, that's where I would kind of feel comfortable looking at Treydan Stokes.
Yeah, I've got Genesis Smith, his counterpart, the safety there. I've got Genesis Smith as a number 67 on my top 100, and I actually have Treydan Stokes at 75. So I've got him, give or take, about 8 spots higher. Treydan Stokes is number 75 on my big board, so he's a 3rd round player in my opinion. Right. He's a top 75 player.
Yeah, I mean, that's where everybody's pretty much got him right there in the 3rd round, but I don't know if I feel comfortable pulling the trigger on him in the 3rd round. I just don't want to end up with another Chamari Connor situation. Maybe it's a little PTSD.
I don't think he could be as bad as Jamari Conner. I'm just going to be honest. It would take a really special
I don't
talent.
think Jamari Conner is as bad as Jamari Conner's been. I'll
No,
say
me
that
either.
flat
I
out.
think what Jamari Conner needs to be doing is something totally different.
Playing
It's-
safety?
Yes, and stop coming down and covering the slot one-on-one.
Yeah, I think
it's
kind of-
stupid and it makes no sense.
I think trying to put him into that nickel role really kind of screwed him. I will say that. And the Chiefs have been doing that lately.
They keep acting like
kind of
it's
getting guys out of
forced.
position.
But how's it been forced? You had McDuffie on your roster every year that Connor's been on there. Look, even last year, you had a couple guys that you were bringing in as UDFAs that were better. I think Melvin Smith Jr. could have played that better than he did.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple. I mean, Christian Roland Wallace could have played it better, easy. I think we've seen him do it
He was a lot better when he got the opportunity.
Yeah. You guys in the chat, wake up. Wake up. Tell us what you think about Treydan Stokes.
Yeah, everybody's been so quiet. Like, what? Chiefs Kingdom Steve, I think, has just taken a permanent nap.
Yeah, permanent
Like-
dump.
They said, wake me up when the draft gets here because we're tired of talking about it. We're tired of watching videos about it.
I understand it, though. I get it.
I get it, but this ain't the time to go to bed. This is the time to get fired up.
It's time to wake up.
Because
Time
once
to
the
get up.
draft happens, what are you going to do? Then it's really going to get boring.
Yeah, true. You guys do us a favor, hit that like button, get this out to more people, like Brian Parrott says right here. We'd appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. Hang out with us more often. You guys are awesome. Real quick, I just want to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. We'll be right back.
Chiefs Kingdom, we have officially partnered with Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy sports platform. It's distinctly separate from a traditional sports book, and it's the absolute best way to add some extra heat to every single game. The app is incredibly easy to use. You aren't playing against sharks. You're just picking more or less on an individual player projection. Think Kenneth Walker's total rushing yards per game, more or less. Travis Kelce's total touchdowns in 2026, only 4, more or less. You just pick at least 2 players, lock in your lineup, and you're in the action. Prize Picks is available in most states, including California, Texas, Florida, and right here in the heart of America, Missouri and Kansas. One thing we love is the new public feed. You can actually find and follow us directly on the app at All Chiefed Up. You'll be able to see our live lineups and tell our picks before we even post them here on the channel or our other social media platforms. So if you haven't joined yet, just download the app and use code HMA when you sign up. When you play your first $5 lineup, you're going to get $50 in lineups instantly. Click the link in the description, use code HMA, and remember to always play responsibly. Now back to the show.
Let's go, baby. If you don't have Prize Picks, make sure to go get that. Use code HMA. We would appreciate it. Appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. You guys are awesome. Yeah, man, let's talk a little bit more about this draft. There's nothing else to really talk about, right? News has been slow. Here's the thing. I want to talk about Treydan Stokes for just one more second. And here's why. It's something I meant to bring up a minute ago and I didn't. But I've seen a lot of people comparing him and comping him to Minkah Fitzpatrick, saying that he can play anywhere on the field. He's so athletically gifted and this and that. When I watched the tape that I watched, which is limited, I didn't see anything that made me think, crazy athlete like that. Like, I knew the speed was there, but there's just a lot of flaws in the tape, man. Do you see him being a Minkah Fitzpatrick?
That's a bold comp.
That's crazy.
That's just a bold comp. I think it's just people get a little wild with these comps. I think that's what they do. Honestly, I mean, geez, I don't even know. I guess if he hits his highest extreme, you could say, you know who he kind of plays like? I think Bro Schmo. He does a lot of really good work. I really like watching Bro Schmo. He's a friend of the channel, and he does a lot of good stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I see the other day that he said his comp for him, at his best, reminded him that he plays the game kind of like Cooper DeJean. So, I mean, he's got a lot of fans. I mean, Minkah Fitzpatrick and Cooper DeJean, some pretty good comps.
Pretty wild.
I just don't see him getting to that level, but he is, he's talented. If he stays healthy and he picks it up, maybe he could get there. I'm not going to dog him.
Yeah, we got Scott Crosser in the house. This is Mike Steve. We have 3 fifth-round picks. If we use
Right.
all 3, What positions do you think they will have our best value? Sorry. So I highly doubt that we'll end up taking 3 picks in the 5th round. I will say that. If we do, the best positional value probably around the 5th round mark to me is going to be, I'll tell you right now, the 5th round is where this draft gets a little blah.
It gets really bad.
Like there's a gap there. Like there are almost guys that I see coming that would be going like the 7th round that I think might be more valuable than some guys in the 5th round.
Yeah.
Like it's really weird. But to me, I think you're always looking at defensive back around that area, right? There's got how many years have we done it? I mean, we've done it over and over again. Now, we released a video earlier today where we talked about, does Brett Veach really hit on these mid to late round corners as much as people think he does? You guys can go watch that when we're done here. But maybe that you can weigh that into the decision making there. I also think 5th rounds, you could probably find, if you wanted to add a running back to the running back room, I think that's a pretty sweet spot for that.
Yeah.
I mean, even if a lot of the bigger names come off the board, you could still snatch up like a Nick Singleton or something like that has a lot of promise, has a high ceiling. I don't know. What do you think?
Look, you name positions. I'm not going to pretend to guess what the Chiefs are going to do in the first few rounds. So I don't know who particularly positions would be on the board that would be really good. Here's what I'll say. I'll give you a few players around my 140 to 150 mark that I think would be pretty good value at the top of day 3. I think that you're looking at somebody like, if you're into the bigger corners out of Washington, I think Prysock and Takario Davis has a chance to be there early day 3. Steve mentioned Katron Allen. It's possible that he could end up lasting till early day 3. It's very possible.
I said Nick Singleton.
Oh, Nick Singleton. Okay. Well, Katron Allen, either one of them could possibly get there. I think you maybe look at some of the tight ends. I think could be right there. You could get maybe Dallin Bentley or Joe Royer out of Cincinnati. Those guys could be there. Maybe Marlon Klein out of Michigan.
Maybe even Jolie if he falls.
Yeah, I mean, you got a shot there. I was just giving you players that are about my 145 to 160 area. In Isaiah World, he hurt his ACL, I think. That might be where you start looking at him. Billy Strouth out of Notre Dame, a nice interior lineman that kind of hurt himself last year. He's coming off. You might get an injury discount there with like Strouth or Isaiah World. Cole Wisniewski, safety out of Texas Tech. That's a guy that I can see fall into somewhere in that early day 3 area. Maybe the Domby Tucker, if you want to go with that speed rusher. I'm not comfortable with that on a Spags defense. I think he's just going to rot on the practice squad.
That guy's pretty intriguing, though, yeah.
But, yeah, you've got that. Kayshawn Elliott, linebacker. The Chiefs have talked to him. We've had a meeting with Kayshawn Elliott, so maybe that's where you start looking at some linebacker picks.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with the linebacker thing for real. Peter Ortiz with a 50 bomb. Let's freaking go, Peter. Peter woke up. He said, wake up, ladies and gentlemen.
Is ready.
He said, hey, guys, go buy some ice cream, kick back and relax. I feel the draft will work out. We better go all out on an outside edge. So I'm not like super worried about this draft, to be honest. I think that kind of the way it falls, it's weird to be at pick number 9 in this draft. Like, it's just a given. If the Chiefs end up with a high draft pick, it's going to be awkward.
Never fails. It's always a weak draft.
But I'm not like particularly worried about the draft as a whole because I've done a million exercises with this draft, different mock drafts, just, kind of move the big board around a little bit, look at it this way, look at it that way. And there are a lot of good players in this draft. A lot of people say it's a weak draft as a whole, but I do think there are a lot of valuable players in the mix, right? Maybe it's not as big on the top end as a lot of drafts have been, and it's not as deep as a lot of these drafts have been, but there are some very good players in this one that I feel like could be valuable pieces. And to me, I feel like there's a lot more like sleeper picks, like some guys that could be really good that people aren't even talking about. So I think that Brett Veach and his staff have done their due diligence on this. I think they're still obviously working on it, talking to different guys, of course, throwing their smoke screens around to make sure that teams don't really have a beat on them or know what they want to do. All of the above. So I'm not real worried about it, Peter. But I think that's exactly what I'm going to do is just get some ice cream and kick back and relax, see how it plays out. But I'm with you. Outside edge, we got to get an edge. We need pass rush.
Yeah, look, this is why it's not popular. It's not popular with Chiefs Kingdom. A lot of people want us to trade down, accumulate picks. This is just a weak draft to the point to where I just don't think that you want to trade down and let the talent get worse because, like Steve said, I think this overall draft is weaker, so to get more picks is weird. Now, the only reason to get more picks is because you get to throw more darts, and I do believe there are specific players throughout this draft that you may get lucky on. You may find one or two like Puka Nacua style players in the 5th round with this draft, but as a whole, there's going to be 30 other teams that got a big heaping pile of garbage for 2 or 3 of the rounds. That's just kind of the way it's going to roll. That's how I see it. I just feel like next year, I mean, you've got 10 guys that if they would have come out this year, let's put it this way. Brett Veach, Steve, said this. He said that when it come out, the day that the prospects had to make their announcement that if they were going to stay in the draft or go back to school, he said that when they did that, when that player list come out, they had to take over 13 players off their top 25 big board. What's that tell you? You had 13 players left on the big board. That's it. So they got 13 true round one talents. And
I think that's being generous.
Dude, and that's why I'm saying this. If the Chiefs really need to get David Bailey or Ruben Bain, if they fall in love with both of those, they've got to have some pass rush. I don't care who it is. They may need to go up and just get them. Otherwise, it could be a disaster because you seen that mock that me and Price did today. That board fell horribly. And if you sit at number 9, you're going to be stuck drafting a Jermod McCoy or a Mansour Delane or somebody like that, or you're going to have to just reach on your Kenyon Sadiq. Either way, it's going to piss off a lot of Chiefs Kingdom, and it's going to feel a little bit like a failure. Now, I do know there's going to be some smart asses that say, oh, we should have never traded up for Ruben Bain. He's got small arms. But we need defensive ends. Those are the best 2 in the draft. Like, hands down, those are your best 2. It's clear to see. If you want one of the best 2, you need to go get them. There's no point in sitting on picks and having 40 picks when the draft's not good.
I think that's the name of the game, right? Shout out Peter for that 50 bomb.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
You guys put some legendaries in the chat for Peter. But I think that's the name of the game here. And now, if you get to number 9, there's not necessarily a guy that you feel like is valuable enough to be a number 9 pick, then by all means, trade back. Get some more draft capital. But you already have a bunch. So if you end up with more and you already have a bunch, you damn well better trade up and take every guy you want for the rest of the draft.
Yes. If you have a chance to get up and get Bain or Bailey and you love them, go do it. Because you're not going to find Bain or Bailey, to be honest, at 29.
I think it was,
you could.
I think it was Mickey in the chat said, I'm just tired of getting like the 7th best pass rusher. Yeah. So tired of drafting the 7th best pass rusher. The only time that we haven't done that is when we managed to get George Karlaftis that fell to the end of the 1st round.
And he was actually don't even like him.
But I mean, in that draft, he was a top 5 edge rusher, easy, maybe top 3, and he fell all the way down there.
Yeah,
and we managed to get him. And guess what? He's been the only one that's really panned out. So like, I think it's as much as you like to think, like, well, this dude, like for instance, and I'm not. Dogging the players that I'm about to say because I actually do think that they could be good, but like to think that like, well, Zion Young is going to be just as good as Ruben Bain, that's naive.
I mean, is there a chance? Absolutely.
But it's small.
But
there's also a
small chance
that I'm going to go to the store tomorrow and find $2,000 on the ground. But it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Like, I think when it comes to edge rushers,
kind of the draft in a nutshell, though, right?
Name 5 edge rushers in the league right now that are really, really good that were drafted late, and it's very, very minimal. I mean, Max Crosby was what round was he drafted in?
I don't even remember.
I think Nick Benito fell further than he should have, and we still didn't take him.
But he was obsolete in the playoffs this year. Because why? The team ran the ball, and he keeps at an edge.
Yeah, there ain't much you could do about that.
Exactly. So there's your David Bailey.
But most of the guys, like when you think about this, the the top tier pass rushers in the league. The
I will
first
say though,
person
some top tier pass rushers haven't worked out either. Kayvon Thibodeau comes to mind.
Well, yeah,
Abdul
but
Carter, not the
it's a
greatest
game you
season
play.
last
But
year.
if you really think about all the top tier ones, they were taken high in the draft. Like people knew they were going to be top tier pass rushers. So I think there's something
I
to
just
that.
think it's a shot in the dark. You could say Ruben Bain sucks, and you could be right. You could say Ruben Bain's going to be great. You could be right. You could say the same thing about Zion Young. You could say the same thing about somebody in the 6th round. It's all a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
But you still got to trust your eyes and your scouting at a certain point, because if that's the case, you're going to have 6th-round guys going in round 1, and that just don't happen very often. So you still got to play by the process.
Yeah, Brian Parrott says trade up, get the best edge you can, then try to move up for Woods too. After that, I don't care. So he's wanting to go straight defensive line, and I'm okay with that too. Brenda says got to go up to get Bain. What's up, Brenda? Good to see you. But then you have the opposite side. You got Jake Price here. It's like, no, do not go up.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to go up for those two.
So, I mean, it's back and forth. I think there's an argument to be had for either way. But to me, knowing that you need an edge, you flat out need pass rush. You
have to
completely
get an
ignored
edge.
it in free agency. We've struggled with it for years. Ashton Gelati was coming on at the end of the season, but you can't rely on him to just come in and be
You let
world
Dana
beater
and
next year.
Omenihu walk.
Exactly. So you have a hole to fill there. And I think the way this draft is, with as much draft capital as you have, it almost seems like a given. Like it almost seems dumb to not go get one of those top guys. And now I'm sure, a lot of people have arguments against that, but to me, it's just almost obvious. Scott Crosser says, how does wide receiver Lemon compare to Luther Burden from last year? Excuse me. I would say he's probably more complete than Luther Burden was as a prospect. Athleticism, I think Luther Burden's probably a little more athletic than Mekhi Lemon. Who didn't know Luther Burden was going to be good? I mean, you could almost just tell. And then you had all the people last year that was just like, no, Luther Burden's a bust. He's a bust. He's a bust. He goes to the Bears. He does what he does, and he's going to continue to get better. Mekhi Lemon is not as good of an athlete as Burden. He is a yak monster, but I still think Burden is more of a yak monster than he is. But I think Lemon runs better, tighter routes, and I think his start-stop is actually better than Luther Burden. But they are similar in a way.
Yeah, I agree. I think the thing is Luther Burden looked more like a Chiefs style wide receiver, so he kind of had like a Tyreek Hill vibe to him, the run after the catch kind of thing. That's where I think they're similar, the movement skills. But I think Lemon's just an overall better route runner. I think he's closer like Jackson Smith and Jigba style, something like that, in my opinion. Like he's methodical. He catches the ball. He's good contested. He's got really good stop-start ability. I mean, they share some things together, but they're just two different wide receivers. I would think, though, if you say they were in the same draft class, I think I would have Mekhi Lemon rated a little higher.
I think he's a more complete prospect, like I just said.
Yeah, like, so, for example, if Luther Burden was in this draft class, where would you have him in your top 5, Steve? Would you have him
around Omar Cooper?
Would you have him below Carnell Tate?
I mean, honestly, I had him at number 3 last year.
Yeah, you did. You had him. You were one of the higher ones.
And I'll tell you where I'm at right now, because like I know there's a lot of Carnell Tate fans, and I even had Carnell Tate at number 1 on my big board at one point. But I think if I looked at it right now and I just outright told you what I actually feel about it, like maybe not, well, this stat or that stat, or look at this tape or that tape, or what they like, just gut feeling. Like I would have Luther Burden above Carnell Tate. I would have probably Mekhi Lemon maybe a shade above Luther Burden, and Jordyn Tyson would be up there too. I think, and then I'd probably have Omar Cooper and Carnell Tate somewhere in the 4th, 5th range.
Right. So last year, look, I just brought up last year's rankings. Our number 1 wide receiver was because of the dual threat was Travis Hunter, wide receiver DB. They've now turned him into what, a full DB?
I don't know. They're wasting his talents. Anyway,
yeah, they're wasting his talent no matter what. He should have just been a full wide receiver. You make more money. But then after that, we had Ted McMillan ranked number 1, Emeka Egbuka ranked number 2. Luther Burden at number 3.
There we go, baby.
That was our top 3.
That's pretty spot on.
Pretty sure that was right down the middle.
Pretty spot on. I don't know. Do we know ball sometimes? Hey, Jake says draft Mesidor. Real quick. I'm okay with it at the right place. Even at 29, if they decided to draft Mesidor, I would be mad. A lot of people would be because of his age. But I don't think the age thing is really that big. Like I've seen a lot of people say the Chiefs will never touch a guy that's older than 24. And, that might be what they've done in the past, but like me and Mike have talked about, they don't give anybody second contracts. They don't. So why wouldn't you? What would it hurt to spend draft capital to have Akeem Mesidor, who's ready to roll now, to come in and give you the best years of his career, and then you get it all on the cheap?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. So I'm not opposed to Mesidor at all. Peter Ortiz, he's still awake, baby. 10 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go, Peter. Woo-hoo.
Let's go, baby.
Y'all thank him in the chat if you got one of those bad boys. Peter, you're a legend, brother. Appreciate you. We got Flapjack in the house with the 5 bomb. Says, what was the 3 reasons for 6-11? Mahomes going out can't be one. Oh, 6-11. I was so lost for a second. I don't know why. Because we couldn't even move the ball with him and couldn't win 6 games without him. So 3 reasons for going 6-11 last year. The biggest reason, and I'm not going to just say, I'll make it a little bit more in depth because it'd be real easy to just say coaching, right? But we won't even go there. I'll say right off the rip, poor personnel decisions. Like that is one of the biggest problems we had last season.
Yeah.
Poor personnel decisions. And you saw it on both sides of the ball. Spags might have had a worse year at it than Nagy and Reed. Number 2, play calling. Refusing to run the football. Just flat out refusing to run the football and poor play calling, poor routes, all the above. Number 3, I feel like there was literally, and you kind of just see it, like it's just a vibe you get. I don't think the players had much fire in them last year. They look flat. They look like they didn't care. And it's almost like they had become bored,
I would agree with that. I think if I had to be more specific, I would say number 1, there were no playmakers on our defense. Not a single person on our defense would step up and make plays. It was Chris Jones every once in a while, but he wasn't consistent. Nobody could get a big sack. Nobody could get to the quarterback and create pressure.
You saying Chris Jones don't have a big sack?
Yeah. You didn't see any safeties or corners step up, make big plays. Trent McDuffie maybe a few times, but there just wasn't nobody consistent. We couldn't get people off the field. And if you go to the offense, I'll blame some of the receivers. We don't have any receiver. Not one of our receivers last year could get open man to man. They couldn't do it.
That's bad. Yeah, that was really bad.
They couldn't get
really
open.
Bad.
Juju Smith-Schuster was literally our highest rated wide receiver running routes, be it man to man or zone. Juju Smith-Schuster was the highest rated wide receiver we had, I believe. If you combine those two, that's sad.
Yeah. Weston says no pass rush, no offensive creativity, and bad personnel. Pretty good.
Yeah, spot on.
There's a lot of reasons there, dude. There's a lot. Flapjack, I want to know what your reasons are. I know you have to. You probably got more than 3.
Oh,
brother.
Flap is jacking somewhere. He's got those reasons.
You can count on that, man. Appreciate the 5 bomb, though, brother. Yeah, man. So I think basically what are the 3 reasons that the Chiefs stunk last season? You can kind of convert that in to what should the Chiefs be doing in this draft, right?
Yeah.
Number 1, we got to get some pass rush, right?
Got to get a pass rush.
Poor personnel usage. Let's start getting guys for the positions that they play and letting them play those positions and quit trying to whatever the hell you try to do all the time. I don't understand why they want to move these dudes. And Chamari Connor, I think would have been a fine safety in this league, but no, we're not happy with that. We're gonna put him as a slot corner and leave it and let him get torched.
You know what? The Spags is like a chef, and it's like he could be cooking up some steak. He could be cooking up some burgers. He can be cooking up chicken dinners. He can be cooking up whatever he wants. But you know what? He's kind of like the turkey. He gets a bunch of turkeys. He gets a guy that's a turkey, and he makes him a turkey burger. He makes him a turkey bacon. Like, quit. I don't want turkey burgers and turkey bacon. I want a freaking hamburger, and I want a pig bacon, okay? Like, let's stop making the turkey do everything. We don't want turkeys.
Isn't pig bacon just bacon?
Yeah, but I don't want turkey bacon. That's what I'm saying. Like, quit putting turkey in everything. That's the moral of the story.
Oh, well, I don't know about it, but I kind of know what you're trying to say. Mean? I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, quit. Let
I don't know if that was the most eloquent.
Let turkey star on Thanksgiving, and then the rest of the year put it away.
Hey, Whitwin, how do you talking about the team or the player?
He's probably talking about the player. We're talking about
if you're talking about the player, then how do you know? How do you know? Jake says Royals. Is he good?
Don't know. Never seen him.
Good player. Great in college. Pretty promising. High ceiling.
Can we make a shirt that says "Who the hell's Jalen Royals"?
We might as well at this point. I don't know why they didn't get him more reps. Just another personnel decision that was poor. Poor.
Putting Tyquan Thornton on the bench after he was your most productive ball mover.
Dumb stuff all year.
How much more bad decisions could that team make?
Mickey said there are 20 reasons the Chiefs stunk last year. That's being generous there, Mickey. Let's go. Peter Ortiz said 3 reasons: head coach, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
They got to get it together, man. Jake says, can we play rookies other than corner? We sit guys too long. Totally agree.
They even sit Noel Williams too long last year, I thought.
Oh,
he should have had a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sad what they do with some of these guys. It's insane. Jake also said tofurkey. I feel like that's a curse word of some sort.
Quit putting turkey in things that don't belong.
Hey, D Jazzy says you don't want them spags hybrid players.
I think that's
we were talking about Treydan Stokes earlier. Is that the perfect example?
Yes, kind of, because yes, it's versatile and you can do this and you can do that. But the problem is when you get a guy that you think's versatile, like Chamari Connor, yes, against lesser talent in college, he may be able to do it. When you get to the NFL and you're going against real life wide receivers that are good, that can route you up and put you on your ass, Chamari Connor can't stop nobody. So why are we don't need his versatility. You know what we need him to do? Go play safety. I don't need your versatility.
Weston Wright in the house with the 5 bomb says, do you think Veach is looking to trade up to 3 or 6? If so, what do you think we'll give? What do you think we'll give up? Sorry, I can't read today. So
you're having trouble reading.
There is a whole segment in the video that we released today
that goes super
I talked about the different trade up scenarios and what you'd have to give up. So I won't get super in depth with it because you can go watch the video, you can watch that segment, and it's really going to tell you exactly what we're talking about. But I will say this. I think Veach, if I had to say right now what I believe, I think Veach is absolutely looking to trade up from 9. 100%.
If he can find a dance partner, he's ready to tango.
Now, the most efficient trade, the best case scenario for the Chiefs and what they would have to give up for is actually the pick number 6 to the Browns.
The Browns.
Okay, so that's the one where they use the least amount of value as far as trade value. And if that's the thing, though. Are you really trading up to 6, though, if Bain or Bailey doesn't fall that far? So, I mean, a lot of things depend on what they're trying to do. I do kind of at this point think that if they want Bain or Bailey, that they might have to get up to 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think it's really hard for the Jets to pass on a pass rush at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Titans at 4, they probably need a pass rusher. The Giants at 5 could use one because I don't know if Kayvon Thibodeau's the future there.
Yeah. Yeah, so but yeah, go watch the video that we dropped.
Get through 3 guys.
Go watch the video that we dropped today, and it gets really in depth. There's a whole segment about this.
It actually breaks it down, shows you all the picks and circles every single thing. Like I spent so much time putting that visual together to show you guys.
Yeah,
and you
so
know what
check
everybody said today? They said, no one really gives a shit, Mike. They give me the middle finger. It only got like 2,000 plays. Like we're usually up to like 15,000 plays per video. We got 2,000 today if we were lucky. Like what happened? Everybody go to sleep?
Chiefs Kingdom went to sleep, baby. They're napping.
What happened? I hate
They're
doing
napping.
a lot of work and people
Nikki's
just
not
shit
asleep
on it.
though. Nikki's not asleep. She has a 5 bomb here. Says Chiefs acted scared to play rookies. Things are bad, so we can't risk rookies making it worse. Bad plan.
Dude. Yeah, Nikki, I'm right there with you. You know what? It needs to be the other way. Things look like crap. Let's just play the rookies. How bad could it get? Like, who cares if we lost
Right.
by 40 or if we lost by
Worst
a field
case
goal?
scenario, you're getting your young guys some reps. You're getting
Especially when
some
Mahomes
experience.
left and the thing was over with. They were still keeping guys out. Brashard Smith still couldn't get carries.
Janae, I need to go
Incredible.
to the, what was it, Zoolander's school for kids who can't read good. That's what I need to get.
Good.
Jake Price says, you guys have the best KC knowledge. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, brother.
I won't say that we have the most knowledge
Dude.
or anything like that, but I really will. I will stand on the hill that we know this draft almost every year better than a lot
We
of
put a
people. that talk
lot of
about
time
the
and
draft.
effort into it. I'll put it that way.
And you can call it luck, you can call it hunches, you can just call it whatever you want. But we do land a lot of players that the Chiefs end up drafting. We're pretty good at getting a beat on that. We'll see how that holds up this year because this one's tough.
This one
This
may be
one's
the
tough.
toughest draft I think I've ever had to do.
I mean, we might go a big fat goose egg on this one, dude, because it's wild.
And I am getting some of the weirdest information. Can I give you an information that I have come into my possession? Eli Stowers. Teams are looking at Eli Stowers
First round.
as a wide receiver, more than a tight end in some cases. And there is rumblings he could go round 1 because once Sadiq's off the board, Stowers is the next best threat, and then after that, it's a pretty big drop. And so teams at the back end of round 1. And from what I heard today, the Chiefs, if they don't move up at pick 29, is very much thinking that Stowers could be a weapon. Not just a tight end, but a weapon. I'm hearing Chiefs Stowers at 29 rumors. I don't know how good those rumors are. But
Would that
wow.
surprise you? I wouldn't be super surprised.
No, honestly, I kind of like the idea. I don't
Flapjack
hate
says reason one, Taylor Swift. Reason
no.
2, Taylor Swift.
You're
And
blaming
reason
Taylor?
3, Taylor Swift.
How many tackles did Taylor Swift miss though last year?
I don't know, dude. I
I
think
will say
that's,
Kelsey looked a lot better last year though than he did the year before when Taylor Swift apparently wasn't a problem, right?
Weston says don't touch anything from Vanderbilt. And that includes Eli Stowers.
That's probably true. Should we take Pavia in round 3? Hey, tomorrow on the Epic Mock, I'm going to convince Price Carter and Arrowhead Addict to take Diego Pavia at pick 40. You think I could do it?
Mike Mickey Moonrock says Andy would make Stowers put on weight and become a blocking tight end.
Yeah. He's
At
like, we
this
found our
rate-
right tackle.
Yeah.
It is wild.
This is great right here, just randomly. Alpo Megacron says Nagy was the uncle from Christmas Story.
Cousin Eddie?
Randy Quaid.
Wait. Wait. He's in shitter's full. Dude, that's wild. What is it with the Chiefs, though?
I know this is autocorrect, but I had to bring it up.
Dude, hey, I'll take a shower at pick 29 too, probably.
Let's take
with a big
showers, bro.
slot. Dude, if I took
Jake
a shower
just thinks
with a big
everybody
slot,
stinks right now, you know?
Hey, don't take a shower with a big slut. You'll get divorced quick.
Yeah. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Man, I honestly don't know. There's lots of different scenarios. I wouldn't be mad at Stowers at 29.
Let me give
If
you a
that's-
scenario.
Yeah,
What if they
okay.
traded up for Bain? They got Bain at 6. They kept pick 29, but they couldn't trade up. And you just had to take Stowers at 29. And then at pick 40, you grabbed Chris Johnson falls to 40. You got Chris Johnson.
Like, what would I grade that? I
What would you
guess?
grade that draft?
So you traded up to get Bain. You still
You
got,
got
pick
Bain.
29. You took Eli Stowers. And then you got Chris Johnson?
Chris Johnson at 40. That's your 3. Like, would you hate it or would you say we still got some work to do?
I honestly think that would be a B plus, maybe even an A minus.
I don't know if it'd be bad.
I
But
don't know
here's
if I
the
could-
thing. We see a lot of good in Eli Stowers and what we could do. But like the comment just said, Andy Reid them get really weird. It would not surprise me if this is what you see on draft night. The Chiefs trade up. They take something really weird. They trade up to number 6 and take Caden Proctor. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all sometimes, the way that they operate.
Mike
and then they'll try to sell it to us.
The Chiefs will select Jordyn Tyson at 9. So here's the thing. Peter Schrager thinks that's what's going to happen.
Peter Schrager gets a lot of
Peter
inside.
Schrager, yeah.
He gets a lot of inside info. Steve, we've always said that Tyson, without the medicals, is the number 1 receiver in this draft. Hands down, he's the best route runner.
Look, man, I honestly believe this, and I feel like anybody that evaluates draft picks or just say knows football at all could watch the tape of all these guys, and they should be able to say that pretty confidently.
He looks like
that
Justin
if he
Jefferson.
does,
he has
if
vibes.
it's not for his medicals, like if you just put medicals completely aside and act like he never ever got hurt in his life, you would pick Jordyn Tyson as the number 1 receiver in this draft 10 times out of 10.
He's also a good kid. From everything I'm hearing around the people that interview, he's smart at football, he works hard, and he's a good
But that
kid. They say,
doesn't
"Don't get in
matter if
trouble."
you can't stay on the football field, and that's what worries everybody.
No, listen to this. Price Carter was on the show the other day. If you guys haven't got to watch it, that'll be available to watch on Saturday.
Price.
We had to pull it off YouTube, put it back on Saturday. YouTube has given us hell lately.
The usual.
It screwed up our entire podcast on Tuesday so bad that we had to delete it and re-upload it and then delete it again. And it's not going to be an episode. It's gone. The archives are gone. It's gone. The only way to watch it is to go listen on Spotify. Yeah, so you can watch it on Spotify. You can watch it on Spotify, actually. But YouTube will never have it because YouTube's a slapnut. But anyways, Price Carter said this. Matt Verderame has some sources inside the Chiefs, and they told him strictly they do not care. They do not care about Rashee Rice. They do not care about drafting players with problems that are assholes or whatever else that's going to get in trouble. They don't care. They want to win at all cost. That's what Matt Verderame claims that his source inside the building said. Do you believe that? Because the way they've acted over the past few years, I don't not believe it.
Yeah, I absolutely believe
Dude,
that.
do you feel like the Chiefs are kind of selling their soul? Like, we're supposed to be the heart of America, middle America, the good guys, the underdogs.
Well, first of
and
all,
we've
I'll
taken
say
on a persona of win at all costs, and I don't know if that's good.
good night, Steve-O. I didn't even know you were in here, man. What's up? So here's what I have to say about that Matt Verderame claim. I'm calling bullshit. I don't think that, yeah, absolutely. I don't
You're
think
just calling it.
Yes. And like anyone that claims to be an inside information, right? Do you really think that they were just sitting around with people that work for the Chiefs? Like, I'm having dinner with the owner. I'm having dinner with Clark, and I'm having dinner with Andy Reid, and they're just both like, I don't give a shit if these guys do whatever they want. They can go out and kill people, but we want to win. You really think that conversation is stupid?
No, but maybe the conversation about maybe Rashee Rice and the whole second contract and this and that, and they're like, look, we don't care what he does off the field. If he produces this year, we're going to sign him for a long-term deal.
I don't believe that.
I don't know if I believe it either.
Like,
I'm just saying.
What
Matt
kind of
Verderame
conversation
said it,
is that? I feel like that was just a talking point or something.
Look, this is just a thing that any insider and any insider information, take it with a grain of salt.
Brandon says that none of these guys have enough talent to deal with drama.
Well, the
He's
team
probably
this
not
year,
wrong.
absolutely. The only one that I would deal with would be Mahomes. Like, if he was to be a slapnut, and I couldn't even deal with that after a while.
Hey,
I don't care how good
Brenda
you are.
says
It gets
Tyson
old.
is on the Chiefs list, and if Brenda's saying it,
I think you're right, Brenda.
I think she is too.
But could you get Tyson closer to 29 than you could 9? Price Carter thinks so. I don't know if I believe that. I bet Tyson goes a lot earlier than people think.
Mickey says Matt Derrick believes it will be the offense that gets us back into contention. I don't think it's just Matt Derrick. I think that's obvious.
That's just logic, I think.
That's obvious as hell.
Our defense is too far away from being dominant right now
But
because we don't
it's
have a
not
pass
even
rush.
that, dude. It's just the fact that our defense hasn't been that bad. They haven't been bad in years.
Right. But
Like,
they've
the
got
offense
worse.
is the reason
Like,
why we stink.
Yeah, you have to get the offense to score points. Mahomes has to get back to a high level.
Name
You're gonna
one
have to
game
find a
from last
replacement
season
for
the
Kelsey.
defense lost. None. 0. They couldn't stop people on third down and save their life, Mike. And there wasn't one game that this team couldn't have won last year if they couldn't have scored a couple touchdowns.
True. You could argue that the team couldn't get off the field a few times in key situations. Like when they let Herbert run in week 1, get that first down at the end of the game because Chris Jones did the wrong thing.
Right, but guess what? Our offense shouldn't have sucked so bad. We should have been up by 17 by then. That's my point. Like, the offense is the reason why this team sucked for the last few years. Because the high-powered Chiefs offense with all these great players, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, blah, 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 blah. We went and got Xavier Worthy because he could run 100 million miles an hour. Like, all this crap. But this offense has sucked ass. They're not good.
Let me try to not scare you here, but let me just put this in your mind. Our defense right now is led by Chris Jones, who is old, Karlaftis, who just can't seem to get over the hump and get to that, to just close the gap on the quarterback consistently. No other pass rush. Our linebackers are now led by Drew Tranquil, who's getting a little older, Nick Bolton, who by any means is not – he's overpaid. He's a liability in coverage. He's a step slow. On the back end, we don't really have a CB1 that's been proven. We've got a second-year guy that barely got to play last year, No Williams. We got Christian Fulton, who can't stay on the field. You got Kyer Elam, who's kind of been a flop his entire career. Your best safety is gone. What do you do? The guy that we thought was going to be good 2 years ago, Spags wouldn't even let him play last year, Jaden Hicks. So, like, our defense is a long way from being worth a crap.
And they're still not the problem. 110%.
Well,
not
they may
the problem.
be this year. Maybe this year.
They might be, but they have not been. Not even close. Because let me tell you this. If you're going by – if our offense continues to play the way they've played for the last, say, 3 seasons, maybe 4, the pass rusher that you need to be looking at in this draft is the one that has the best conditioning, because his ass is going to be on the football field the entire game.
Yeah. Get the guy that's used to playing 100 snaps.
Yeah, no kidding. Mike, I saw this one a minute ago, and I forgot to bring it up because I wanted to hear it too.
Peter.
Our boy Peter wants to know, who is the one player that you think is must get? Like, you have to get him.
You have to get him. You got to do what you got to do what you got to do here. I tell you what, I haven't really settled on that for sure yet, but can I give you a player on offense and defense that I really like that right now I would probably make it my goal to try to get on the roster? I think for me, on offense, for some reason, this kid's just really been in my line of sight over the past few days. But it is wide receiver Antonio Williams out of
Love
Clemson.
him. I like him.
I don't know why, but he is just – he runs routes so smoothly. I think he's the second best route runner in this class besides Jordyn Tyson. The problem is he does have some injury history. I don't know what it is with receivers and injury history that can run routes. But, yeah, right now, Antonio Williams, but he's not necessarily like you have to have him, because I don't know if he's that different than what we have. So, but I'll say him for now. Defense, I really love Gabe Akis, but I'm going to go with a nickel corner because we need to get Chamari Connor to stop doing that. And I want somebody that goes
Scott
back.
Would be cool.
He would be great. He's my second option. My first option, Chandler Rivers out of Duke.
I like Chandler Rivers.
I think Chandler Rivers could be a really good shutdown, lockdown corner that could take us back to McDuffie's rookie year. And you've seen how that defense was different because McDuffie was not letting them convert on third down, and our defense was getting them off the field. If we can find a corner to do that, and I think Chandler Rivers has the potential to do it.
We got Flapjack with the 5 bomb. Says, I say we draft all offensive weapons in this draft. Drop 50 on teams and have a Bob Sutton defense. Also, Matt Verderon blocked me on Twitter, LOL. Look, man.
Verderon blocks a lot of people on Twitter because he likes to say a lot of things that aren't football related.
Oh, yeah. He's
people that get like off into the weeds and then can't take the heat.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah. I think he probably dropped his phone at an O Kings rally and accidentally blocked you. Is probably what happened. Somebody probably knocked his phone out of his hand, brother. He didn't actually do it.
Yeah, it was a mistake, bro.
I'm just kidding. Appreciate the 5 bomb, though. No Bob Sutton defense. I don't care if we are scoring 50. We could never. Let's not do that. And then we got Choose Love, Peace with a 2 bomb. We appreciate you. I like the name, by the way. And thanks for the support. Let's freaking go. You guys are awesome. Let's see here. I want to talk about a player that I think might, could be like
You're going to give your
can't miss
fave?
players.
Your Steve guy?
Does Steve have guys this year? That's why I wanted to
It's
stop
been
and think
tough
about
to
it for a
find a
second.
my guy this year, for real.
Yeah, that's why. Let's see.
I've not seen a Puka Nakua. People keep asking me, Mike, what's your Puka? I've not seen that yet so far. I don't know if there is going to be one.
Dude, I'm telling you, who are the Steve guys? I'm gonna go.
I think I could name a Steve guy that you've liked through this entire process that you continue to like.
Who?
I think you're an Avion Terrell guy.
I do like him.
You like him more than most, I think.
I think he's almost. I'm saying almost, guys, so don't take this the wrong way. But he's almost a 1-for-1 for McDuffie.
See, I can't get behind that, but you believe it, so I'll believe it with you.
He's got the same traits, the same abilities. Now, will he be as good as McDuffie? I don't know.
No, probably not.
It's tough.
That's tough.
But like I've said this a few times and I'll say it again. If you had a bunch of people go in a lab and try to create a Trent McDuffie, it's gonna be Avion Terrell. But I'll say this. I got a couple of my guys. I think I would probably go with. I really like, the more I watch this tape, Landon Robinson.
From Navy. That's a good pick.
I like
Kid's
him
good.
a lot. You want to get somebody in there, a defensive tackle that can get after that damn quarterback, baby, and rotate with Norman Lott. And both of those guys can give Chris Jones rest. If I stick with defensive tackle, I also like Big Citrus. I think he's fun.
Dude, I've got a defensive tackle that you need to watch. I think you'll really like him. You may have watched him already. Have you watched a defensive tackle out of, I can't think of where he's at now. Oh, he's out of Georgia Tech. His name is Jordan Vanderberg.
Vanderberg, is he a vampire?
I think so. He's from South America. Or South Africa, I think is where he's from. South Africa.
We could be a vampire.
Yeah, he's from South Africa, and he kind of has the play style of Landon Robinson. He's like a white version of Landon Robinson. Like, he's like a Tasmanian devil, and he gets so wild he'll miss tackles and stuff, but he's nuts.
I have to check him out. I'm too busy laughing at Renee in the chat right now. She said, oh, wait. She said her
Jamal
autocorrect's
McCoy.
killing her. Jermis McCoy. And then she said, Jeremy.
Oh, autocorrect
Hold
nailing
on.
you.
Hey, damn, Jamal.
Ah, there you go. Dude, I hate nothing more than autocorrect. It's supposed to be so smart.
worst.
It makes you look so dumb.
Let me think. I'm gonna see a couple more of my guys. Let's just real quick, just because I've never even thought about it this year. Like, who are my guys?
Yeah.
I would go Landon Robinson. I like him a lot. I think he'd be fun. You got me on this dude, and I think Charles Demings just seems like a really good corner
I
that I would
like
love
him.
to have. My guy, as far as wide receiver goes, this one's a fun one because you mentioned Antonio Williams, who I think is awesome. Why am I putting myself on the spot?
You are.
It's like I need to make these decisions.
You know who
The
else
draft's
I kinda
getting
like, though?
close.
Skylar Bell out of UConn. I kind of like him.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he fits. I mean, he fits us, but I just don't know if I want that again.
I have a tight end, my guy.
It's not Oscar Delp, I know.
No. This is if you can't get Kenyon Sadiq or Stowers.
Uh-huh.
Telling you just wait late and get John Michael Gillenborg.
Oh, yeah, you do like Gillenborg.
Get him. He's if he gets to put a Chiefs uniform on, that kid's gonna play his heart out.
Well, John Michael.
He
Sounds like a country singer.
He got a little bit of
Everybody
that.
welcome
Travis
John
Kelce
Michael
shimmy.
Gillenborg's debut concert.
Let's go. Choose Love says, hey guys, don't you think week 1 versus the Chargers, the defense sold us? I still
See?
believe that week 1 loss messes us up. Love you guys. Appreciate their support, by the way.
She's spot on. I said
You're
that.
not wrong here, but can we go back? Wait, what was the score in that game?
It was a one-score game at the end. We had to get them off the field. I'm with you. We should have scored because Kelsey screwed up in the red zone.
It was
Run the wrong
27-21. We managed. This is what we managed to do that game.
offensively.
Oh my God. Wait a second. There's no possible way. Because if this is true, then you guys, I will have to say, are wrong on this one. As much as
Don't you say I'm wrong.
as much
Don't
as I
say
feel
she's
like
wrong.
you guys have a good point, but I gotta check something real quick. Let me get these stats pulled up. Because if this is what I'm thinking,
Dude, Xavier Worthy got hurt on like the 5th play of the game.
wait.
Our offense
This was our
atrocious.
scoring. You want to hear our scoring for the game? Nothing in the first quarter. The second quarter, we had a field goal from Harrison Butker, and a field goal from Harrison Butker before the halftime there. So we got
So we
6
had 2
points.
field goals. That might be the only 2 he made all year.
We did
Congrats.
get we got 2 touchdowns in the game. One was an 11-yard rush from Pat Mahomes, but then Butker missed the PAT.
Oh, there he was.
And then we got a touchdown, a 37-yard pass from Mahomes to Kels, failed 2-point conversion, and then we got a field goal from Butker there at the end of the game.
So we had 3 field goals, 2 touchdowns.
I'll say this: you guys are right in the fact that the defense sold on that last drive, but when you go back and watch that game, I guarantee you that defense was gassed. Because I guarantee you they were gassed because they couldn't get off the field.
What was the third down conversion? Do you have the third down percentage? 3rd and 4th down?
I
bet
didn't
you
go
was at
that
least-
far into it.
I bet it was at least 40%. If you're on ESPN, it'll show it. Just
Third
go to team
down.
stats.
Oh, I got you. Third down, we allowed 7 of 13,
Right. Over 50%.
and
Couldn't
we
get off the
only
field.
managed to get 5 of 14.
Right. We couldn't convert on 3rd. We couldn't get them off the field. That was pretty much the story of the year.
Time of possession, they won it by 7 minutes or so, something like that.
I mean, that's a half a quarter. That's a lot.
I don't know. Interesting, though. Appreciate the support, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks for the 5. You guys are awesome. Yeah, man. I don't know. Pretty excited. So we got to get our mock draft 2.0 up here real soon. I think this one might be a little different. Maybe we'll talk about it in a live stream or something, but I definitely want to get a graphic together for this one. And then we'll do the touch up and put out the final ones right before the draft. But I want to go ahead. That's what I want to be working on soon, because I was thinking about the first one I did, and I liked some of it and some of it I don't. I do see some things I like to tweak. There's some new players that have come about that I think the Chiefs are interested in. So I really wanted to update that and share it with everybody.
Yeah.
So
we should do
that
mock
soon.
2.0 on what, Sunday? We'll do Sunday night's live stream.
Yeah.
We'll get it done there. And tomorrow night, we're going to be back on doing the Epic Mock 2026. I'll be on here with Price Carter from 6:30 Eastern, 5:30
That's tomorrow, right?
Central. Yes.
I won't be able to join in
6:30.
until about 8:30.
You'll come in
Eastern.
about 8, 8:30, 9, something like that. But for the first few hours, it'll be me and Price picking, and we're going to do
Don't
2
screw
rounds.
it
We'll
up
probably be on
while
here for
I'm
4 or
gone.
5 hours, man. So come hang out with us.
Don't screw it up while I'm gone. That's all I'm
Help.
asking.
Look, you guys help your boy. When you're in the chat, you say, look, listen to All Chiefed Up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Listen to Mike.
Yeah.
This guy's a draft wizard. I tried to sabotage him.
You're a wizard, all right.
I said, do y'all want to sit at 29 and take what's that kicker? No, it was Taylor Green. I said, you want to sit at 29 and take Taylor Green just to piss
Look,
everybody
bro,
off?
I'd take Taylor Green 9 times out of 10 if he was still in the 7th round and we had a pick.
Bro. Dude, I will say this. This was the one pick that threw off the mock for me. I've not heard this before. Dallas at number 12 taking Kenyon Sadiq. Have you heard that been dropped? Has that been a thing, or did this Dallas fan go rogue? Or is Kenyon Sadiq really being talked about in Dallas Cowboys circles at 12? Because if he is, and all of our fans say, you guys are stupid to say we should draft him at number 9, trade back to 14 and pick him up. Well, that was our point. If Dallas wants him at 12, it ain't no trading back to 14. You got to take him at 9 or don't take him.
I
Right?
think that I would not be surprised if Dallas did that. They're always looking for some kind of an offensive weapon, right?
They're
Something
always looking for something.
But I do think that they are high on Ferguson. They love Fergie.
Big Jake.
So I don't know.
I will say this though. My big board, I have dropped Kenyon Sadiq on my big board. He's no longer in the top 10. He was my number 10 player, and now he has dropped to number 15. I just felt like Ole Ione, the Penn State guard, I feel like he is too good of a talent to not be picked above him. And then since Jermon McCoy ran that 40 and that ACL looks better, I had to put him back above him too. So he's fell just a few spots for me, but
Yep. Got a 10 bomb from our girl Brenda. We appreciate you, Brenda. Thank you.
appreciate you, Brenda.
Thanks for always supporting. Brenda is OG, been around since we started this channel and always supporting. So everybody shout out Brenda. Put a legendary in the chat for her. Let's go. And then we got Choose Love with another 5 bomb since they made Herbert run around all over the field. They made Herbert like an MVP quarterback. That's when I knew we needed a rusher. Yeah, man, just too many times this year, well, this season, and I'd say probably the last handful of seasons. Now, Chris Jones has been able to get home quite a bit up until this season, and it kind of slowed down a bit. George Karlaftis had a pretty good 2024. I think he had 12 sacks that year. Now, two or three of those came in the playoffs, though. But I think that it's been a consistent problem for the Chiefs to where the quarterbacks get to sit back there and pick apart the defense.
Yeah.
Like, they have too much time, dude. If you give any NFL quarterback enough time, they're going to find something. I mean, they just are. In the NFL, there's 32 teams, and one of them's the Chiefs. So those other 31 quarterbacks are the best 31 quarterbacks in the world. Okay? So think about that for a second. Now, you could argue that, maybe there's somebody that could be better than Tua or whoever. But they're going, if you give them enough time, they're going to eat you alive.
Well, what's wild is that was our highest sack total of any game that year. I think we had 3 sacks that game. We sacked Herbert 3 times. Drew Tranquill had 2, and George Karlaftis got home.
Well, I think what she was kind of pointing out, too, is, okay, so that you did get some pressure on Herbert, and he was actually using his legs to beat you. We had no contain.
We weren't being able to contain.
Yeah.
That was the thing. It was no containment. Shouldn't have been blitzing Drew Tranquill. Should have been having to be a QB spot, looks like.
There are a lot of times where we didn't use a spy when we should have.
Can we also play Jeffrey Bossa at all? That is another guy that kind of got lost last year out of that draft class. Because we always talk about Royals. We say Noah Williams could have played more. Gelati looked decent. He needs to pick it up this year. Omar Norman Lott, just when he was starting to look decent, gets injured for the season. But Jeffrey Bossa is a guy that I thought could and should have played more at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think so too. And then you got a couple of guys in the chat, man. Let's see. Brandon says Bolton can't cover and can't get home on a blitz. And then you got Jake right after him saying, shouldn't we upgrade linebacker? Nobody ever suggests this, but Bolton can't cover and Tranquill is older. So a couple things I'll say. You're not wrong that Bolton has trouble in coverage, but if you actually go look at his coverage grades, he's one of the better cover linebackers.
It's very weird, but it honestly does say he's one of the better coverage linebackers.
Here's the problem.
No idea.
The problem that I think and how this correlates and how that makes sense is I don't think it's necessarily that he's terrible in coverage, any worse than other linebackers. But I do think sometimes that our scheme gets him in bad positions. And I think he ends up in bad matchups.
Yeah.
I think we allow teams to get really athletic tight ends or slots and stuff like that, or even running backs out of the backfield to match up on like Nick Bolton. And he's going to struggle with that, with speed. So I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged thing. I like Nick Bolton. I don't know if his contract was garnered, really. I don't know if they should have paid him that much. I'm not going to say that they should have or shouldn't have. But I do like him. I think he's a great player. Drew kind of had a down year last year. They never let Leo loose. I do think they need to kind of look at that linebacker room and see what they want to do with it. And honestly, if they can't to me, it's kind of been a sore spot. If you really think about it, might need to start looking at old Brendan, whatever his name is, that's coaching them boys.
He's from Kentucky. He coached in Kentucky.
Drew Swaggy with the 2 says, Mike and Steve, ACU, the best Chiefs channel. Let's go, Drew. Appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Well, the best Chiefs channel is real tired right now. I've had a long week already, dude.
It's been a long week.
So we're going to have to jump off here. But we appreciate you guys being here. You guys have been awesome. Do us a favor, hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Shout out everybody that donated tonight, and Peter Ortiz for gifting out a bunch of memberships. That's freaking awesome. Also, shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. Go to the description, click that link, sign up for Prize Picks, use code HMA. And for those of you who asked a lot earlier in the chat, I didn't get to address it. HMA is Hog Media Associates. So that's what that means. That's what that means. Do us a favor. Come watch us tomorrow night, Draft for the Chiefs. We'll be on here with Price Carter. Drafting, you said we'll start in the second round, correct?
Yeah, starts in the second round. This is 32 teams, 32 different channels or entities are drafting for a team. So we are representing the Chiefs with Price and another guy from Arrowhead Addict. So it's fun, man. You get it's a little different than doing like a mock draft on a simulator.
Peter, we're gonna bounce back, brother. We're gonna bounce back. That's the best I got for you right now. We'll see you next time. Go Chiefs.
Wow.